So we are recording this session, and we will post the link to our YouTube page immediately following the session here today. So it'll be archived there if you want to go back to it for reference. On that note, we're going to get the presentation started today. Jerome's going to run through some topics. We are also going to have some question and answers at the end of the session. So feel free to type your questions into the chat box. We'll get to them as we go or at the end. And if anyone, again, has any questions, just type them in and we'll look forward to answering them as we go. So on that note, Jerome, do you want to start with our first topic, important administrative work to be done?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Glad you all could join us. See some familiar faces, so I'm glad you're here. We just all are still having a few battle wounds, I think, from Mother's Day week. For those of us that were actually out there working retail, it was wild and crazy for various and sundry reasons. Whether it was you couldn't get enough flowers, or you had too many orders, or you didn't have enough help, or whatever the case may be. But look, it's Wednesday and we survived, so here we are. And that's kind of why I talked to Rod and I said, you know, after Mother's Day, we all kind of, you know, it was kind of like starting over. We just kind of got thrown into Mother's Day and nobody knew what to expect, including our suppliers. And in true florist format, we just kind of rolled with the punches. So that's why I said, you know, after Mother's Day whirlwind, maybe we need to get a little discussion going about what are we going to do next? Because for those of us that do weddings and events, obviously there's 0 to minimal at the moment. So kind of the same avenue with funeral work at the moment. If you're in Michigan, they're still only allowing 10 people. A lot of cemeteries still have restrictions about only 1 floral arrangement. So there's a lot going on. So what are we going to do to survive? What are we going to do to move forward and that type of thing? I guess I'm kind of changing my dialogue up a little bit from survival, because I think we're all survivors. We're gonna make it. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna do what we need to do. But I guess that's more the topic, is what do we need to do? So first of all, now that we got through Mother's Day, obviously we need to do all that paperwork and get all those things done. Make sure everything is handled. For most of the people I talk to, and some of you are on this Zoom conference, you know, deliveries were kind of nice this year, actually, just because most everyone was home. So had very little follow-up to do on that. And honestly, the quality of the product that we were able to get, I don't know if anyone else has a different feedback on that. You can put it in the chat. But the quality of the product that we were able to get was really nice. We had some really nice product this year and had 0 complaints on quality. So that was nice. As far as moving forward, after we get through the, you know, I always call it the holiday meltdown for the next couple days. And those days seem to get a little longer as you get older, right? So once we get up and running again and get our mind clear, it's what are we going to do? And I know there's a lot of florists doing a lot of really great things already. Making sure that they're attracting clients and making sure they're letting clients know that we're here and we're ready to serve them. I know our business has been, I would say, good. I would use the word good. We've got a lot of people in our community and our standing customers that want to see us succeed. So they're reaching out. I have one lady, and I think everybody wishes to have her. I have one lady that places an order every other day. She said, I just want to make sure you stay in business, so I'm just placing orders. I'm working from home, and I've never missed a beat with my paycheck, so I want to make sure I'm supporting you. So she places an order every other day, either to herself or just sends it to a friend or whatever. So, you know, I think a promotion to just say something about creating smiles and letting people know you care and that type of thing would be a good direction to go. Certainly social media is first and foremost. Whatever platforms you're on, you got to evaluate that based on your clientele. There's a ton of different platforms out there, and it just depends on what age bracket your clientele is. Facebook is for old people. That's us, me anyway. I see Bruce smirking. So that's for the old people. And then you got Twitter and Instagram and all the other great stuff that's out there. You can get creative and do a TikTok if you want. And there's all kinds of fun things you could be doing on social media, but it all depends on what age bracket you're trying to attract and who your clientele base is, or who you want to be your clientele base. So I think that's important. And then, you know, we've got a few other folks out there that are already doing great things. And so I wanted to bring them into the conversation. So if we could, I'd like to start out with Amy. She's here from Calumet, right? Rod, there you go. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing well, thanks.
Good. So Amy sent in an email, and I said, you know, I don't want to talk about what Amy did. Why doesn't Amy just talk about what Amy did? So if you don't mind sharing a few things with the group, what you've been doing and what you plan to do moving forward to kind of just keep people going. First of all, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and where your shop is.
Perfect. So my name is Amy Knight, and our shop is Calumet Floral and Gifts in Calumet, Michigan. We have the privilege of being the Michigan's most northern flower shop. So that's awesome.
There you go.
We're way up here in the land of snow, which we did have snow for Mother's Day weekend. So that just put a special twist on getting all those deliveries left at the appropriate places for people without contact. But we're doing well. We have a super awesome community that supports us. Like you were saying, Jerome, we have customers and clients that just really want to make sure that we succeed. And we are so very thankful for them. Some things that we have done, we have reached out to our local TV station, and they ran just a quick little filler piece on, just a positive piece on flower shops being open and the importance of floral, and some of the adjustments that we've had to make for COVID regarding curbside and pickup and delivery and all of those fun adjustments that we're all just treasuring, but we're super thankful to be open. Some other things that we are just making a concerted effort, like you said, also Jerome, to prioritize that, that social media. And we've been even just putting out pictures of blooms that we've gotten in, and the quality has been wonderful, and we're super thankful for that. Our signage, it was crazy to us how many people don't actually even read the signs that you have plastered all over your door saying, we're here, but we're closed, you can't come in. So, you know, I've resorted to 9 brightly colored ways of saying, we're not open, but we're here. And that's just one of the crazy parts. So I think signage is really important. I'm super thankful actually that the expo happened and then we got shut down, because I felt like that was supercharged to my team in terms of we didn't even know what we were preparing for at that point, but hearing some of the speakers, just having that fresh in our brain, I'm really thankful for the timing of all that, because then we came back to our shop already thinking through, for example, some of the things that Tim Huckabee taught on using descriptive phone sales and utilizing maybe repeat customer coupons and some ideas like that allowed us to feel like we're coming into this post shutdown period equipped with some really good information. So I'm super thankful for that. And our shop signed up for Tim Huckabee's Bounce Back program, which is still available. And I think I've got 4 of the 6 listened to during shutdown. So I'm behind 2. I've still got 2 more to get back at and make sure that we're continually learning and growing and just really using this time to the best of our ability. So I'm really thankful for the timing of all that. So thankful that the Great Lakes Floral Expo didn't get shut down like the Wisconsin one did, because we're kind of on the fence. We go back and forth year to year on which way we travel, and actually Wisconsin's a lot closer, but we had to be downstate with you guys this year.
Well, we're glad you were there, Amy, and thank you for sharing those ideas and thoughts. Signage is definitely important, and you're right, no one reads. So,
It's crazy.
so it's kind of funny. So, you know, we were going in and out of our front door a lot. And so occasionally we would forget to turn the little lock on it. And then someone would open the door and come walking in, and we'd say, whoa, 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 we're not open. And they say, well, why is the door unlocked? So I totally get it. So, but it is what it is. I have to share, you know, because sometimes when you travel and you speak and you teach a lot of workshops and seminars, everyone thinks you're always perfect, and I'm not perfect by any way. I have to share that our extra work for us this year was that we thought we had another ink cartridge for our printer, and we didn't.
Well, that's terrifying.
We had to go through Sunday with no printer for our POS, what do you call it, super tickets. And so we actually had to revert to handwriting cards. It was always special, but that's how we spent our Sunday. But thankfully, we were pretty much done with taking specialty orders by then anyways, and reverted to, you come by and we have what we have, and we'll be glad to see you. So, but I've never been so grateful to see an ink cartridge come in the mail before in my life.
No kidding.
But thank you so much for sharing, Amy. Did anyone have any questions? I'm not seeing anyone putting anything in chat, so either I'm not seeing it or everyone's so excited about what they're seeing that there's no questions. But anyway, so if you have a question, don't hesitate. There's a spot on the bottom of your screen where you can type in the chat room for everyone to see, and we can get those questions answered. The other, I'm going to jump over to somebody else that I saw just earlier this week, and he said he had a crazy holiday, kind of ran out of flowers towards the end and started putting plush animals and chocolate bundles on his website, and people were buying those up. So Bruce Anderson is with us, and Bruce, want to share with the group where you're from and give us a little insight on what you've been doing.
Hey, I'm Bruce Anderson from Mooring Woods Flowers here in Grosse Pointe Woods, and I, like Amy, have been very, very thankful that we live in a community that's been supporting us undyingly. They've been keeping track of us through this whole COVID thing. We've continually been posting what we were doing, how we were preparing. One of my cohorts here, Kathy, was posting on Facebook telling people, you know, I'm home, but the boss is making things safe for you when we come back. So yeah, it was undauntingly amazing, the response that we had. So much so that, you know, on Friday evening, we had nothing left. So what we did was we posted, we had a box of chocolate and teddy bears. We could deliver a bear hug to your doorstep. And then I was fortunate the following morning down at Eastern Market to procure quite a bit of product, and basically had like 3 offerings. You could have tulips in a vase, you know, 2 bunches, 1 bunch, 2 bunch, or 3 bunches, or you could have an azalea plant, or you could have an orchid, or you could have a begonia or a geranium. And we blew through those. We took another 45 deliveries for Sunday. We had never taken Sunday deliveries before, because the premise before that was nobody's home on Sundays. They're at church or out to dinner with mom, and then you have a disappointed person because mom didn't get her flowers. So that was kind of a unique blessing. And the fact that people were so receptive to receiving an open order, they were just going to get something for mom, and they were so appreciative. We had tears on our voicemail, people calling in just in tears over the fact that they got lovely flowers from their kids or their spouses or whatever. So it was really, really, I was in tears Sunday evening by the response that we had. It was just a very emotional time and felt really good. So now the next day, what do we do, right? You know, here I ran into Jerome. Yeah, the suppliers telling us there are no flowers available, and we have orders to fill. We had some things, we filled them, and we're able to push back orders for a couple of days. People, I think, are very understanding. So the first thing we did Monday morning was rip out our front window and converted it to a storefront. We took everything we had in our store. We have it's been a couple of nice days where people were walking. So we actually converted our storefront to window shopping. And so on Monday, we had set this all up. And by yesterday, we had, I don't know, what do we have? Half a dozen sales before 1 o'clock, people walking by, picking stuff out of the window, calling up and asking for us to bring them out. So that's been a real godsend. We, like Amy, the signage was an issue. We bought some great big, bright pink poster boards and wrote the hell out of it that, you can't come in, curbside pickup. And then we went so far as to yesterday write a big thank you across our full window. Thank you for your support. And posted the pictures of our window shopping. If you have an opportunity to go to our Facebook page, you can see what we've done from that standpoint. And it's been pretty phenomenal, the response of the community, the support of the community, the understanding. Of course, we had one bride calling up saying, I'm getting married this weekend and I want ranunculus peonies and Esperance roses. It's like, well, that's what you want. Let us tell you what you can do. So, that's the beauty of the fact that we can't get product is the fact that people are very understanding. Now, the big question is, what happens next year? How do you monitor this success versus next year? And will people remember the experience and the joy they brought to somebody as a result of this year? So hopefully it'll stick.
Hopefully it does, Bruce. Thanks for sharing. And I love your window shopping idea. So for those of you that are in an area where people can or will walk by, or maybe you are a destination, but they can't come in. So basically your front window becomes your fresh flower cooler displayer where they can see a few different arrangement choices, maybe a plant, like you said, maybe a bear hug bouquet. I love the thought of that. And just give them some choices that they can pick from the window. So thank you for sharing that. I know that there's been some struggles with getting fresh floral product. It's still limited. What I'm seeing is most of the wholesalers are encouraging you to order from their online sites because it's more likely that you'll get it. So it does change up how a lot of smaller shops particularly are making purchases because you have to plan in advance. You have to decide what it is you're going to offer, like ordering now for next week and that type of thing. So it's going to definitely change a little bit on how people operate in their shops. We have been ordering in advance like that for some time, so it's really kind of second nature to us. And I was fortunate that on Thursday of Mother's Day week, I sat down at my computer and ordered a bunch of flowers to come in on Monday. So I was happy as a lark because we had a ton of orders yet for Monday and I had all kinds of fresh flowers coming in. So it was good. But I also heard of flower shops that have gone to other sources and some of the more remote flower shops that don't have wholesalers or Eastern markets near them. I've heard stories of flower shops going and buying all the flowers that Costco had. So that kind of, for those of you that are old enough to understand the game of Hollywood Squares, that kind of put an X on that. So they couldn't go shopping at Costco anymore, but they went and bought all the flowers and brought them back to the flower shop and created their works with that. So, I mean, as I said earlier, us as florists, we always find a way to make it through. I did see someone in chat wanted to know where everyone was from. So we have asked, if you don't mind, to go to the chat box at the bottom of your screen and type in the name of your shop and what city you're located so that everyone can kind of get a feel for where everyone's from. Some of you that are not from retail flower shops, we still want you to put your name and tell us where you're from or who you're representing. I see some non-retailers on the call, so I just don't be afraid. Go ahead and share where you're from and why you're here or whatever, or what you're hearing. Somebody also asked, has anyone heard when we can open and let people in? Well, not officially. We're hopeful, but I don't know that there's been any big announcement as of yet. So we can speculate and we can hope, but at the moment, that is nothing has been formally announced with that. But clearly, I think we're all already aware of the understanding that when that is allowed, it's going to be with all the CDC guidelines in place. You're going to have to be making sure everyone's wearing a mask, not just your staff, but also people coming in the store. So you might want to have some masks available, which are available on our association website. And so just know that's going to be part of it. I do want to touch base for just a brief moment about weddings and events, because I know that's a hot topic. I see social media chat rooms and stuff just blowing up about that. What's the right thing to do? What are people saying? You've got the bride that has the wedding plan for June yet this year, and she's hanging on and thinking that she's going to have a 200-person wedding. But the reality is that's probably not going to happen. So, you know, some of them are just slower learners than others, I guess. But I think as professionals, the best thing we can do is just remain positive and say, we're here for you whenever you decide to have the wedding. And if you're going to have a scaled down wedding right now and maybe a reception in another year or so, we're still going to be here. We can help you. We'll guide you through this, and just basically try to work with them in any way, shape, or form you can. I'm not going to get into a big discussion about all that right now as far as finances. Hopefully all of you have had contracts and you're adhering to the contracts, and that's really what it's all about. But weddings and events are definitely not happening for a little bit of any size, that's for sure. And as I said early on, even sympathy work is struggling as far as anything large. And you know, quite honestly, with people not wanting them at the funeral home or at the cemetery, you know, I think as an industry, we really need to promote sympathy design to the home. Let's send arrangements to the family of the bereaved, of the deceased, I mean, and kind of keep sympathy work going that way. But it's going to take all of us to promote that. So you need to promote that amongst your own platforms and in your own audiences, and just say, hey, if you had someone with a loss, let's send some flowers to their home. Let's let them know we're thinking about them, and in this crazy time. So I can't even imagine you losing a loved one during these times where you can't even be with them when they're having their last breath or any of that type of thing. It's a horrific time for a lot of people. And we know from our industry that flowers can help bring comfort, and that's what we need to promote. So, what other questions do we have over here? There's some questions still. I know in the e-blast that Rodney sent out, he sent out a link about getting employees back to work. That's still a discussion. I know it's still confusing for a lot of people. You can bring employees back and have them work. I believe the magic number is 55% of their regularly scheduled hours, and they can still collect and do a work share program with the state, so that they would collect unemployment for the additional part of their hours. And if they're on that, they can also still collect the $600 that has been gifted to everyone. However, that is not the case if, as a business, you have the PPP loan. Okay, got to remember that. So if you got the PPP loan, they're not eligible. So there's a little clause in there that you all need to be aware of, because as I said early on, when everyone was talking about all this free money that was flying all over the place, my mama told me a long time ago, there ain't no such thing as a free ride. So we just need to be careful and watch that, and make sure that you're checking with your CPA or your accountant and getting the facts about that. I am no expert. I'm only sharing what I've heard, and certainly don't take my word for it. And the association is not an expert on it either, but we certainly have shared some links in past e-blasts, and there's some things available to you to make sure you check in on that. So just don't want it to be a surprise somewhere down the road where people are concerned about not, you know, about the funding, and maybe they have to pay it all back. So also, what did Teresa say? We turned all our windows into a display of a lot of our products, advertised on the sign, welcome window shoppers, and in our local newspapers, sold a lot of product that way, especially on Saturday. Yes, absolutely. In Ohio, Ohio opened to retailers, to retail yesterday. So if you're on with us and you're in Ohio, you can have your retail shop open. Somebody just posted, Betsy Meyer posted from Silver Lake Florist that retail opened yesterday, but they're not going to open their storefront until June 1st because they're installing plexiglass at the front counter next week. So again, that's something that people are looking at, you know, putting the plexiglass shields up and seeing how that can all help. The other thing that we did, and again, it just depends on your clientele and what age bracket they're in. I find it to be more in the 30 and under range. If you have customers in that range, we set up a PayPal account so that we had the scan, we laminated a scan code and we just held it up and they can just pay with their phone and we don't have any contact with them. So you can set that up easily and then enlarge the barcode, the QR code for PayPal so that they can you just tell them the dollar amount and they type it in on their phone. They scan the barcode that you hold up and the payment goes through. So that's another hands-off, no contact way of collecting money. Just a great way to do it besides them calling in with a credit card. Those are, somebody said, we're open in Ohio, plexiglass is installed and ready. And that's Jen said that. So she's got her plexiglass up. So for those of us in Michigan that aren't open yet, be thinking about that because we're going to need to be putting up plexiglass shields and we need to be having all that type of thing in place. We're not running things through the POS if it's on PayPal. This was more for Mother's Day when we really needed to get things done. So the question was, how are you running it through your POS system if it's on PayPal? And the answer is we didn't. But at Mother's Day week when we were busy, we were more interested in getting their cash and getting them gone. So I don't know, some of you may follow us on social media. We did a drive-through for Mother's Day. So we had everything out in the parking lot on tables and they literally stayed in their car and just drove in one driveway and out the other. And we had a big loop going around all day long. So it was kind of out of control. Somebody was asking about sales. How were sales for Mother's Day? And I don't know if anybody wants to comment on that. How were sales? I know we all seemed like we were 10 times busier than usual, but part of that might be because we only had a third of the staff. So I know we were working like crazy people, and I stayed later than I ever stay on a holiday because I vowed many years ago that I'm not working till midnight on a holiday, but there I was, 1 in the morning, still poking posies, but it was because Robin and I were the main designers. So we were just making it happen, but so that's, you know, I don't know how everyone did with actual end of day calculations and sales. I would say we were down slightly, but I think our expenses were down extremely. So I think profitability wise was probably up, would be my guess. I don't have all my numbers done just because I've learned a long time ago, don't do numbers when you're on holiday meltdown because my mind's just not clear. So I give it a couple days and I'll figure it out. So I had some people posting that their sales were up with less designers, prices were higher, profitability was up. And I think that's the direction we're going to end up with as well, is that that our profitability is up. So anyone else has comments on that, feel free to share, but I think that's the way that's going to shake out. I'm hearing from suppliers that they feel that they're probably going to start getting product on a more regular basis, maybe in another week. So right now they're still struggling. I know we were out of red roses and I couldn't get any red roses until yesterday. So I think that's coming around. I see them more readily available now on the online ordering platforms as well from the local wholesalers. So, again, I think it's about relationships. We've always said that, about relationships with your suppliers, stay in communication with them, and you know, just do the best we can. But overall, what's next is what this whole thing was all about. And I had gotten an email from a company, I think they're in Wisconsin, I'm not sure. It's called Event Lab. Are you familiar with those, Rodney? Event Lab. I might have them connected through other groups I'm in with event business, but they sent out a cool, colorful email, and just, I wanted to pick up on a few things that they're doing. They're an event company and floral provider. So if any of you are do event work and are a floral provider, I thought they had some great ideas, and they're renting out games and things for backyard family fun, because as people are social distancing, so they're renting out some of their games, probably their cornhole games and things like that. They're also, and this is something that I'm hearing a lot of conversation in our event groups about, and that is, and as retailers, we can be thinking about this. A lot of your companies, your major corporations, and even some of the weddings and things, the next step that will probably be happening is virtual. So they're promoting and selling virtual backdrops. So you can do a setting with plants for a corporate meeting where, you know, maybe they have 2 or 3 people conducting the meeting, but they want a nice backdrop. So they're going to have plants and maybe some fresh flowers and things like that in the setting. So we just have to change our ways of thinking on what we can market. Perhaps some virtual meeting backdrops would be something to start suggesting. And also they were promoting balloons and signage. You know, a lot of us as retail florist shops do sell balloons. So start promoting it. Hey, if you're having a drive-by birthday party, don't forget to stop by and pick up your balloons. I just did a drive-by birthday party for my sister yesterday, and she loved it. We just all started, there was 5 cars, but we just pulled in her driveway, started blowing the horn and acting stupid and all that stuff like drive-by birthday parties are. But it helps brighten up somebody's day. And so just keep in mind that we could be doing that and promoting our balloon sales. I know, and hopefully you're not having any problems with getting helium at this point. So I don't know how that's going for everyone. We currently are not having an issue, but be thinking about that. Also, we need to be thinking about the product. Tom just piped in and said a lot of the product's going to be disappearing because the bouquet companies are grabbing all the carnations and pom-poms and things like that for bouquets for Memorial Day, because Memorial Day is such a big holiday across the country, especially for some of the large big box stores. People grab a bouquet to go to the cemetery. So be keeping in mind that those products may be shorthanded coming up the next few weeks as we approach Memorial Day. I mean, here in Michigan, it's been so cold. Amy, it just snowed by you. So, but I mean, I can't believe it's almost Memorial Day weekend. And somebody said, yeah, it'll be June in a couple weeks. I go, oh, dear Lord, it's 6 months till Christmas. Right, Alice? So I said, you know what, this year is just going to be a blur. Anyway, so a couple other things that I thought for those of you that might be in event and rental companies is they said suggest renting a linen. You know, people are at home eating more meals at home than they ever had. So promote having a special dinner at home and rent out one linen with some cool flowers or vases or treatments for on their table. So that's just a suggestion as well. I just thought they were great ideas. And they also do pipe and drape rentals. So they were doing pipe and drape to help separate workspaces and keep family members and housemates feeling happy and respected. So I guess if you had to move the in-laws in for it, you could pipe and drape off half the living room and give them their half, and you could keep your half. I don't know what they were talking about there, but anyways, just I guess the whole point is think outside the box. We're creative individuals. We have a lot of things that we could be promoting right now and keep people that want to be supportive of us engaged and make it work. So what else do you have, Rod?
I think you covered everything on our list. I was just going to circle back and go back to the idea about keeping records and keeping good records. It made me think of it again when you talked about not using your POS for PayPal. So right. Possibly you could have lots or you know, a section of your transactions that aren't captured, and it's just very important, you know, for especially newcomers to this chat in our business to keep really good records. Right. Write down what you bought, what you sold, start a hard copy file for Mother's Day 2020 and keep that, because it will be invaluable next year. You'll never remember it all. And again, the things that your POS won't track for you, it'll be important to keep
right. And that's what we do too. We have an Excel spreadsheet. So all the invoices and Bruce, I know you're a good record keeper as well. So all that stuff you picked up down at the market, I'm sure you're entering that into your spreadsheet. So next year, you got, 500 bunches of tulips at the market, and or whatever the case may be. So yes, absolutely, record keeping is key. No matter how we get through the process, we still need the data so that we can be professional again next year when Mother's Day comes around, and what's that going to look like. Yeah. So we definitely keep good records, and like I said, we have everything in Excel spreadsheet. We have documented who we got it from, how much we paid for it, and how much we got. So.
Well, and someday when you want to sell your business, won't that be nice to pull out 20 or 30 years worth of files for Mother's Day and show them the growth that you've had?
There you go.
I mean, that's your value. So, keep good records. The other thing I just will touch on real quickly, Jerome mentioned it, but it's about getting people back to work, and it's the Michigan Workshare thing. I'm going to try to share my screen here real quick and just show you. This is on the, let's see here. Okay, can everybody see that? This is on that link that was in the email that went out. It's mich.gov/workshare. I just wanted to kind of go through this example down here real quickly of how it works, but I would advise you to spend some time on this. This is going to be a great way to get your employees back to work, to give them a little more incentive to come back to work, because you're probably hearing right now, hey, I don't want to go back to work yet. I'm making more money at home on my unemployment than I am if I come back to work. Well, this is a way you can get your employees to still receive that unemployment, come back to work a percentage of the time, and actually make more money than what they're making right now with the unemployment. If you look down here under the example, how it works, this is just using a round number of $1,000. But if a worker's weekly wages are $1,000, yet the employer needs to reduce their salary hours by 30%, under Workshare, their weekly salary would be $700, plus 30% of their state unemployment benefits, which is at $362 is the maximum. At 30% is $108. Plus the additional $600 from the federal payment through July. So you can take a look at that. Then the Workshare, the employee would actually earn $1,408 a week through July 2020 versus $962 without the Workshare. So that's just a nice way, or a way that you can incentivize your employees to come back to work and actually continue to earn a good chunk of money between now and the end of July.
I just want to say, I do believe it's true that this is not something that will work if the business has received the PPP loan, just so you know. So those shops that receive the PPP, I do not believe they're eligible for this program.
That you would have to check into. I'm not sure if you could use that portion of your PPP to pay the percentage of the wage when they come back. No?
I'm being told no, but again, I'm no expert on this. It's just what I know at this point.
Right. But this, I know the state is promoting this as an option to get people back to work sooner than later. So it's available and it's out there.
Oh, it's a very helpful tool for those that didn't get any other financial assistance. So super helpful.
Well, it's just a good way to get your employees back to work and get more money in their pockets, so they aren't,
Yeah, it's a win-win.
You need your designers back.
Right, exactly. Also, Alice mentioned that she wanted me to say briefly what else I did about a restaurant. Right now, while restaurants are all doing their curbside pickup and, for their meals, we partnered with a couple restaurants, and they were offering a fresh floral bouquet along with ordering food. So it's just another option to think about. And we basically partnered with them. So we gave them a part of the proceeds from the bouquet, but it was a way for us to keep our name out in front of people. And they were just simple bouquets. You know, he was trying to be aggressive at first. And I said, you know, you need to back this up a hot minute. You got to remember the people going to the restaurant are coming there for food. They didn't come there for flowers. So the flowers need to be priced such that it's an easy add-on. So we found that the sweet spot was actually $20. So people were more than willing to add on $20, and he promoted it as date night, you know, and then he said, you know, celebrate that special occasion with somebody's birthday, somebody's anniversary, add on fresh flowers for only $20, that type of thing. And he's been doing very well with it. He's been averaging anywhere from 35 to 50 bouquets a week. So pretty happy about that.
Nice.
And again, we were able to put marketing materials on it. We were able to use it as a tool. It wasn't really about the fact that we were selling a $20 bouquet at a discounted price. It was the fact that we were getting flowers in front of people during a time where they didn't know that there was any available, or they were buying them from a non-professional retail flower shop. So I wanted them to buy them from a flower shop, not from another source. And so that's kind of how we made that work. And it's been going well. Obviously, now that Mother's Day has passed and it's slowing down slightly, but it's still out there, and he's still promoting it. And I think, you know, ultimately, I don't really care how many bouquets I sell. The fact that every e-blast and every social media post he does, he mentions our name and talks about how that you can add fresh flowers in with this. That's what I want. So just remember, sometimes it's not really about the money right then. It would be about the money that possibly down the road. And we have had people call the shop and say, I didn't realize you guys were doing flowers. You know, it's like, you know, we talked about signage earlier. People don't read. I mean, how many times do you get a phone call and people say, do you deliver? I mean, yeah, we've been delivering for years, but you know, they seem to still ask the question. So we need to remember, we're so close to it, we forget, but absolutely something that we should be promoting all the time, that we deliver. And also, Amy just posted, should we be still in the skinny down mode? And my feeling is that is not a mode anymore for us. That's who we are now. We're no longer you can order anything and we will have everything. You want yellow roses, I'll go buy yellow roses. You want purple roses, I'll go buy purple. No, it's not that way anymore. What it is now is we have these choices of roses today. It's kind of the rose of the day. You know, you go to a restaurant, you can't pick whatever soup you want. You get to choose from the soups they have that day. It's the same at a flower shop. And we've just been kind of training people all these years that they can ask for anything, and then we're all jumping through fire hoops trying to find it. And the reality is we don't need to. And we have found that it's all about the presentation. It's all about how you deliver that message. And people have been super understanding. And, you know, we're not even in the apologetic mode anymore. We just simply say, this is what we have today, and they're absolutely stunning. I know you're going to love this color combination of hot pink, lime green, and orange. We've got some free spirit roses, some green button pomps, and we've got these flowers that we can put together, and it's going to be super striking. I know you're going to love it. And it's all in the delivery. And we have had no problem. I've also seen several people comment about their average sale going up. And yes, I believe that's true too. People are more than willing to spend more money. I personally took a phone order yesterday, and a customer was shocked to hear that I had miniature calla lilies, and I said, yes, I do. And she goes, oh, well then let's make that 150 because I know they cost more. And I go, yes, they do. They're a premium flower, but you know, they're beautiful. And so she was just delighted, and she had no problem spending $150 on a 5-inch cube bouquet that she wanted with particular flowers. So I think we just need to change our mindset and realize that we're offering something that they really, they've come to realize makes a difference in people's lives. And they have an appreciation for that. And I think the biggest problem is that as retail florists, often we downsell ourselves, and we need to just get ourselves in a different mindset and realize that, you know, how you deliver that message. Amy, I know you talked about changing up how the phone messages were. We need to write some scripts. I mean, some of us have staff members that, you know, we can talk to incessantly, but sometimes when you hear them on the phone, you're in the background just cringing, right? I know none of you have ever had that experience, but I do. And so I just write up some scripts and say, this is a good script for today, and how about this? And, you know, and we just need to give our staff tools, because this is a new world for all of us, and we just need to guide them down that path.
Yeah, great advice, Jerome. And, you know, one thing that I've been thinking about a lot too, that you should all really be promoting, is the fact that you have one of the safest ways to express emotions available to anyone right now. You can order flowers online, they can call you on your phone, the delivery can be made, and really there's no contact involved at all. And don't lose fact, and you all know this, I'm preaching to the choir, but preach to your customers and to your communities the fact that flowers really do make a difference and will put smiles on faces, because it happens every day. You know that. Just keep sharing that, and share the flowers, and, you know, spread some good this next 60, 90 days when we're really going to need it. And I don't think the governor's going to let us open back up between now and the end of the month, but maybe by the 1st of June, we're going to keep in contact with her. I'm still in contact daily with a gentleman. His name is Ed Dugan. He's the son of the mayor of Detroit. Ed is a senior advisor to our governor and meets with her daily. He's works with the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity. And so we're still working with him closely, and the governor's still working with governors in the other states surrounding Michigan. Wisconsin just opened up yesterday to allow customers into their stores, a minimum of 5 or a maximum of 5 at a time. So, you know, we're working on it, but we need your help. Keep up the good work out there and sell lots of flowers so you can keep supporting our efforts. We appreciate that. I guess that's all I've got, Jerome. Anything else?
No, I don't really have anything else either. I just want to encourage everyone to stay positive and don't be apologetic. Just move forward with what beautiful product we have to work with. Soon there will be local garden flowers available as well. There's some now, but it'll be getting more prevalent, so that's exciting. And you know, I think we're going to end up having a good year. It's just different than what we're used to. And, you know, we've always said change is good. Well, we got big change right now. So we just need to make the best of it. And I just really want to thank everyone for taking the time out of their day to be part of this. I hope you found it beneficial. If you have other comments or suggestions, don't hesitate to email Rod at the office. And we just want to just keep it going. So if you found this Zoom gathering beneficial, then send a message to Rod, because we can continue to do them if there's interest. But if everyone's good and on their own, then we'll give you some private time. So it's really up to you. But I think we could develop some topics and maybe create a series of these. And you know, sometimes it's just like, I just like to see the fact that, you know, there's other people out there in the same situation I am, and I've always been a firm believer, and I know all of you are as well, as we can always learn from each other. So let's just keep the learning avenues open, and continue to communicate with the office. Let Rodney know what your thoughts are. If you have a topic that you'd like to have discussed at maybe another Zoom meeting, we can kind of get an expert on that topic and bring them in and have a discussion about that. So let's keep it going. I see a lot of comments now that you're finding this beneficial, so I appreciate that. It's just, I wanted to make sure that our Floral Association is being supportive. For those of you that are members, we thank you extensively. For those of you that are on that aren't members, we encourage you to become a member. Information's all on our website. And the association's strong, and we're still moving forward. We had a publication meeting earlier today, which was done as a Zoom conference call. Our chairman of that is Bob Patterson. We thank him for his efforts on that, and we have several people on that call, and we're planning out the next few issues. So For those of you that are members and would like to serve on some committees, don't hesitate to reach out to the office. There's a lot of committees that you could serve on, and they're not ultimately all that time consuming. It's just nice to have different insight on each committee to get different points of view and bring new stories of interest or whatever the committee might be. So thank you so very much. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a great rest of the week, and let's remember, flowers make a difference. So let's keep that up.
Yes, they do. And I just got word the magazine drops in the mail in 2 days. It's the wrap-up issue from the conference, and I saw the proof. It's incredible. Look forward to it and enjoy flipping through it when you get it in your mailbox in the next few days. Other than that, Jerome, thank you very much. I appreciate your leadership, and I appreciate all you do for our organization, and I appreciate everyone being here and sharing. That's what it's all about. Maybe we can look to do another one of these in a couple of weeks when we have more information from the governor's office about what it's going to take to get our stores fully open.
I think that's a good idea, and I want to thank you and Cindy. I know Cindy, I think, is on the call too, so thank you both for everything you're doing from your satellite offices.
No, you're welcome. It's our pleasure. Enjoy it.
All right.
All right, all. Have a
Thank
great day. Bye-bye.
Bye now.